Today we're making a nightstand. This is an easy DIY project that also has room for a dog. I'm working on furniture pieces for a new hotel, and we want to use a little more color, so I partnered with Minwax to test out some of their water-based colored wood stains. This first round of prototypes is going to be made out of solid oak and oak plywood. So before I started building, I decided to test out the different stains to see how they would look in person. Now these stains come in over 200 different colors, but there's two major types. There's this solid color stain, which still allows you to see wood grain, but just less of it. Then the semi-transparent colored stains, which show you a little bit more of the grain. These stains add a nice consistent colored tint to the wood, but you're still going to want to use a polyacrylic or water-based clear coat over the top to protect the wood. I also like to seal a sample of wood with just a clear natural finish so that I can compare the natural wood to the colored wood if I want to go two tones like I am with this project. I'm using 3/4 inch thick solid oak that I got from Lowe's to build this project. I'm making up the design as I go. To do this, I just pick some dimensions that feel right for the length, height, and width, and after cutting the first piece, I just use that piece to do a field measurement for a second piece of the exact same length. I'm thinking of the design as a series of very simple frames that either fit inside or outside of other frames. After cutting all the pieces, I sanded everything to 220 grit with an orbital sander. This is a basic DIY project, so I'm not going to worry about a few exposed screws here and there. But since the screws are going to show, I'm going to measure the hole locations just to make sure they're nice and consistent. I also picked finished screws that have a nice brass head. I don't want the oak to split, so I pre-drilled my holes and used a corner clamp to help me out. I then drove in some 2-inch long finished screws. This simple box frame is going to be the base of the nightstand and also serve as the optional dog bed. Next, I'm going to make a U-shaped structure that fits over this and serves as the vertical support. See that? It just fits right over. And that's because I used a field measurement for the top part of the U-shape. Now I'm going to attach these two structures together. Once again, I measured the location for my holes and then drilled them out. I then placed the U-shaped piece over the holes and clamped down a spacer that I cut so that it would have nice consistent distances between the back of the base and the vertical supports. I checked to make sure the pieces were perfectly perpendicular and then drove in screws from these inside holes. Now I'm going to drill holes for the upper shelf support. I used my speed square to mark the locations and then drilled them out with an 1/8 inch diameter drill bit. The base went inside the vertical support, but this shelf is going to go outside of it. So I'm actually using the structure itself as the guide to make sure it fits perfectly. So I clamped the pieces around the structure, drilled the holes, and then screwed it together. Mistakes can be made when you're making measurements with a pencil and then cutting the pieces, and then you come back and you find that they always don't quite fit. So I really like using this technique where you use the first pieces as the reference for the later pieces. I cut some MDF spacers to serve as vertical supports to hold everything nice and level while I clamped the pieces together and then drove in the screws. Field measurement and scrap wood spacers are a really handy way to get accurate results if you haven't already designed and perfectly drafted out the project. I really like this because it just lets me be more in the moment and make things up as I go. I'm going to have to cut some notches in the tabletop boards to fit around the vertical support that creates the upper shelf. So I set the piece so the overhangs would be nice and consistent, and then use my speed square to draw lines that represent either side of the vertical supports. I use my portable crosscut guide to guide my jigsaw nice and straight. This technique works extraordinarily well, and I thought I was going to have to make a whole bunch of cuts to remove that inner piece, but because the grain is perfectly perpendicular, I was able just to snap the piece off right with the grain. This didn't work as well on the second piece, so I did have to make multiple cuts and then just clean out the notch with a chisel. The supports underneath this tabletop are only 3/4 of an inch wide, so I want to be really careful to mark my hole locations. Once again, I'm just pre-drilling 1/8 inch diameter holes before going back to the orbital sander to sand off my pencil marks. All of these color options are available both in the solid color stain and in the semi-transparent color stain. With these chartreuse samples, you can see how the semi-transparent color stain is just a little bit thinner and shows a little more grain. For this project, I'm going to use the gentle olive color in the solid color stain mixed with the natural oak with just a clear ultra flat polyacrylic protective finish. Colored stains is all about consistency, and you get consistent colored application by prepping the wood appropriately. I'm going to start by removing all the dust using clean microfiber rags. Next, I'm going to prepare the boards by wiping them down with pre-stained wood conditioner using a staining sponge. This just cleans and removes oil from the wood and gives you a more consistent finish. When the pre-stained conditioner dries, it can raise the grain of the wood just a little bit. So I just gave the boards a once over with 220 grit sandpaper. This just knocks down any of those little wood fibers that pop up from the moisture. I wiped off the wood dust and now I'm ready to apply the stain. The stain is easy to apply. I like using a foam brush or a synthetic pad like I'm using here. You want to wipe it on, going in the same direction as the wood grain, and the key is applying a consistent layer, letting it sit for about 2 minutes, and then using a clean synthetic pad to remove the excess. Wiping down the boards to remove the excess is the tricky part. If you scrub too hard, you can remove too much stain into areas where you're pushing hard. So you want to apply consistent pressure and nice even strokes. Once I got them nice and even, I then let the boards dry for 2 hours. It's a water-based stain, so cleanup is not too bad, but when I stained the edges, some of the stain crept over and started staining the other side. Now I want this side to be consistent, and some of these parts that leaked over are pretty thick, so I just lightly cleaned them up with some 220 grit sandpaper. I applied the stain to the other side and let them sit for 2 to 3 hours before applying the protective clear coat over the top. For projects like this, I don't like a super glossy finish, so I like using Minwax polyacrylic in clear ultra flat. I recommend using a foam brush, and the key here is just to watch the edges to make sure you don't get any accumulation or buildup that has little tiny bubbles in it. For the rest of the project, I'm just clear coating the natural wood. I really like this sort of two-tone aesthetic that features a combination of natural wood and a colored tint. Unlike an oil-based finish or a polyurethane finish, the polyacrylic doesn't darken or yellow the wood as much. And I've long used Minwax polyacrylic for when I want to protect wood but leave it looking as natural as possible in terms of color. I let the clear coat cure overnight and I was ready for the final assembly. I'm adding a green board to the upper shelf and then I placed all the pieces for the main tabletop. I'm leaving 1/8 inch gaps in between the boards and attaching them with 1.5 inch long finish screws. The hotel plans on marketing itself as dog friendly, and they like the idea of furniture that accommodates pets but looks good even if one isn't there. I cut a piece of plywood about 1 inch smaller than the inside frame and then used a natural canvas and a staple gun to secure 1 inch of foam to the plywood. The upper shelf would be a great place to charge your phone, or it can serve as a hydration station for a more eco-friendly option to bottled water. This is a very easy DIY project that doesn't require a lot of tools or even that much material, but if you're a more experienced woodworker, you could take this design and obviously upgrade it using more complex and advanced joinery. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about these Minwax stains, look for the link in the description, and let me know which color combinations you would like to see for future projects. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks. Bye.